So here's another poem. I tried to mix them up, not read everything in a row. This is called The Last 6 Days. We're both writers. Her volume of writing, mostly poetry, has demonstrated that she most certainly a poet. After more than a decade of practice, discovering, recognizing, crafting, and honoring her own voice, she's focused, observant, precise, and brilliant in a way she doesn't really know. And her poetry stops me completely when I hear her read it. She writes a lot upstairs here in our home in her studio, a room of unfinished wood floors and ample sunshine I like to call the barn. And I love knowing that she's up there being a poet or whatever she chooses to be any day. We're both writers. My volume of writing is mostly journal streams of thought and impulsively penned ideas from conversations. It leads to lots of words, some of which become eventually songs, fiction, and poetry. And I've spread them across pocket notebooks and journals, word processors, and phone apps in a non-system that works somehow for me. I'm not as focused or organized as she. I tend to be more like a breeze in search of a box than a constant practicing writer. But I've grown faithful lately to something like a practice, thanks to our writing community and the years of sharing my life with another writer, my love, the poet. I write downstairs usually, sometimes on the porch or deck or in the big windowed sitting room, and other times in the messier but musical book-filled room simply called Randy's space. And she loves knowing I'm writing or reading or singing or playing guitar here in our home in our sweet little life. In whatever room I happen to choose that day. We're both writers. For the last 6 days, I've been writing early every morning in this spiral book, writing what the doctor told us, and catching words that we've told each other, words with which we've held each other in these difficult moments and hours, so they will not be forgotten or washed out in the next day's flood. And she's been writing on her screen, often in the middle of the night, to shed and to capture the words that won't let her sleep, or eat, for that matter, for the last 6 days.